Ghosts in Us contains serious and sometimes disturbing events and is not suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. And there is the very distinct shape
really
of a
dark
man.
figure that was standing in the doorway.
I'm living an episode of Kindred Spirits right now.
And I just want them to tell me their stories.
So he thinks the life was sacrificed for the spell.
It had the crying boy painting.
Something demonic that was mocking me.
Are you kidding?
It was completely involuntary, but I started crying. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a new episode of the Ghosts in Us podcast. As always, I'm Blaine, and I have my co-host, Taylor. We're doing a Zoom call.
Yeah.
Doing Zoom because
getting a little close. Yeah.
You're about to pop at any day now.
So the day after recording this episode, I actually went into labor. And now I have a little baby.
Taylor, you wanted to talk about this last month, but we ran out of time due to a bunch of different stuff happening. We did that Patreon investigation event at the Jericho Convent. But what do we have today? What are we talking about?
Well, we've discussed in the past before, like, our theories or ideas and feelings about Ouija boards. And like we've talked about, how is there really a difference between a Ouija board and using a spirit box, because you open yourself up either way to talk to things that you can't see. So I wanted to do a little more like deep dive of the Ouija board and like just where it came from, when it started, and like the popularity. And then I found some videos that we could watch and just kind of pick at a little bit, decide if we think it might be a real experience or not.
Right. So I'm going to issue the disclaimer one more time. Serious and sometimes disturbing events, not suitable for all audiences. Discretion is advised. Because you did show me one of these clips before, and it creeped me the hell out. So
one of the clips, every time I watch it, I get bad chills and I can't stand it.
Yeah, you show me one of them. So all right, let's dive right in, kick it off. Let's do this.
So I'm assuming everyone who is listening has heard of a Ouija board, but they're also known as spirit board, talking board, or witch board. And if you don't know what a Ouija board is, it is a flat board with letters of the Latin alphabet, numbers 0 through 9, words yes, no, hello, goodbye, and just random symbols and graphics. And usually it's like decorative. And you use what they call a planchette, which is like a small heart-shaped piece of wood or plastic with a little window in the middle of it. And as you put your hands on it, it's supposed to slide around and you could see the letters and try to talk to something on the other side. The way it's supposed to go is you're not supposed to be moving it. You are just supposed to be putting your energy into it. So you're lightly touching it. And something on the other side could be moving it. But there's a lot of like theories that it's your own body, like your muscles are just shaking it and moving it on its own. You're manipulating it yourself. So that's kind of like, it all depends on what the person thinks when they're playing with the board. So the name Ouija is actually a trademark from Hasbro. Parker Brothers bought the rights for the board back in 1966, and it actually outsold Monopoly in 1967. And that's the only time a game has ever outsold Monopoly.
That's crazy.
But the board first came to like be popular, or like come to be, in 1886 in Chestertown, Maryland. And it was named in 1890 in Baltimore, where it started to be manufactured. And newspapers would come out saying like, this is a way to talk to the dead, predict catastrophes, solve mysteries, and even commit crimes, apparently. But it became super popular in the 20s, like 1910s, 1920s, because people would use it to talk to their family members that were in a war, or like that they were worried about. And because of all of this, and with it blowing up, a lot of people started coming out saying that they were psychics and playing parlor tricks and hiding under the tables and shaking them, or hiding in the walls and banging on them. And it just kind of, a lot of people fell for it. And it ruins what people nowadays would like to believe.
Right.
Like, that really sucks. But that's how it was, and probably still is. So if you ever find a psychic, hope to God that you trust them.
Bet your psychics.
Really make sure that they are true and honest, and not trying to have a little pedal under the table to make it go woo. So
I'm sorry, could you do that one more time?
the woo.
There it is. That part. Yeah. Just want to make sure I heard you there.
So paranormal and supernatural beliefs associated with the Ouija board have been criticized by the scientific community and characterized as a pseudoscience. Like I said, people like to believe that it's your own body, your own mind, and you're just kind of moving it a little bit with your fingers and convincing yourself that something might be talking to you. A lot of the Christian faith and like Catholic and all that stuff, they warn people against the use of Ouija boards, considering it a satanic practice, while other religious groups hold that they can lead to demonic possession. Occultists, on the other hand, are divided on the issue, where they think this is a positive tool to use. And like, I don't know. What are your thoughts? What do you think?
See, I was really hoping you'd bring this up, but you didn't. So I'm just gonna interject really quick. There's one more thing a Ouija board was also used for that you didn't mention.
Okay.
It used to be very popular for date nights.
Yes, absolutely.
It used to be it used to be a very big a date night activity. So like back in the day, though, it used to be a date night activity. So if you say like, oh, do you want to go see get dinner and a movie? Do you want to get dinner and have a Ouija board session? You know, like
it was one of the top games. Like, you got Monopoly, you got checkers, you got the Ouija board.
You got the Ouija board, you know. Let's summon some spirits and let's see what they can do, you know.
Scare that special person right into your arms.
Yeah.
But yeah, that blows my mind. Like, it used to be that popular.
It was crazy.
Like, and no one, I mean, yeah, like I just said, like religions, they like warned against it and said it was bad. However, I'm pretty sure majority households had this board just sitting in a closet.
Oh, I'm sure.
As just a fun activity.
You can get one
it
for like
doesn't have to be
at Walmart.
Yeah. And like, it doesn't even have to be a date night. It could be a family activity.
Yeah.
Which, like, I'm really curious, like, how many boards have sold back in the day? Too many. So, yeah, I wanted to know, what are your thoughts about the Ouija board? Do you really think it's something demonic and bad?
I don't know, because I haven't used one. So I don't have an opinion on that regard, because I don't have any experience doing it. However, you and I have talked about this at a lot of length on how it could be a big media uptick.
Yes.
So if you say like, oh, I was possessed by a demon, but you really weren't, you're still going to get that like attention you're seeking for. Like, your name's going to be put out there. You're looking for that like name recognition, like the girl from the Enfield case made a Ouija board, right? Like,
yes.
I know that was a part of the Conjuring,
the Enfield
movie.
Poltergeist. Yeah, I can't remember her name, but I actually have notes on that.
Like I
Like
know
being
I know that was a
involved.
part of it in the movie that they made a Ouija board so they could talk to their dad, but like I'm pretty sure they did that in real life too.
Yes, they did.
Okay. So
Which I think it's maybe like a 50-50. Like sometimes you could like, or like we'll say like 20-80, like 20% chance that you might actually experience something and
right,
get something you shouldn't, but majority of the time it's just tricks.
right.
It's mind games. Like we've talked about it on the podcast before. Like I've had some kind of experiences with the Ouija board. I didn't really think of it as an experience. However, the coincidence of things like turning
Yeah.
on and like playing these videos out of nowhere after playing with a Ouija board. Like
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Until
never had
I just
anything personally attack me.
until I decide that I'm going to put my hands on one and like try and do a session, I can't have an opinion. So
I got one from the 70s.
I know you do. I know you do.
You can use it.
Not in my apartment. That ain't
Don't
happening.
listen, Lisa. He's not using it, I promise. Since I know your mother is against it so much. Speaking of demons and demonic, like what?
Sorry, I'm just laughing at that really quick.
I had to
Anyway,
bring her into it.
anyway.
Speaking of demons and like demonic stuff, and like usually demons are very like connected with Ouija boards, which I just, all right. I mean, how often do you think people actually run into demons? It's not like, I don't know. We've talked about this
I
too
don't know.
before.
I can't say.
People throw the demon word around all the time.
Demon has become a very common word used in our field lately, and it's very sickening to hear.
It's like the basic bitch of paranormal.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. That
Perfect, right?
was great. I love
Um,
that.
So, do you know like what the demon's name is that's mostly known for the Ouija board?
Zozo.
Yes. Do you know anything about Zozo?
I know it's more. I don't like saying its name out loud just to be safe. Yeah, I know
3 times. It's like
he
Beetlejuice.
he's supposed to be like Michael Keaton. Bring back that stupid joke. No, so I think it's more of like a trickster demon, right? Like it's gonna like it's gonna with you in a negative way, but like it's also like not playful or fun, but it's it's like Loki, the like you know what I mean? Like he's a mischievous.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't think of the word
Mischievous.
mischievous, but that yeah, they're yeah.
So
Right? Like that's right. Like am I wrong?
no, I actually think you're pretty on there. Um, I I wish there was way more backstory to Zozo. Like, you know how like in the Bible and stuff, there's like they, I don't know, demons, angels, whatever. They have some kind of backstory. I really don't know if Zozo is old enough to like have a backstory, or if it's really just a fake thing that's, well, not fake, but like just a random thing that came up and then people just kept building off of it. Supposedly Zozo is a fallen angel banished from heavens, like all of them. He's rumored to have been the demon who possessed Roland Doe. That is such a silly name. I'm so sorry. When the boy used a Ouija board back in 1951, and Zozo and the possession were written about in a book called The Exorcist, but under the name Pazuzu.
Yeah, that's what the demon's name is in the movie.
Yes. He is often said to mimic the voices of the dead who the user of the Ouija board wishes to talk to. He's cruel, sadistic, likes to prey on people's insecurities and fears, and he often delights in telling them that they'll die soon. He likes to pretend he's other spirits, often pretending that he's 3 different spirits at once. He could play on psychics, for instance. If a psychic is adamant that there's only 2 ghosts in the building, Zozo will confuse them by claiming there are 9 instead. He likes watching friends fall out over his lies, and he's a master deceiver. And there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different possible encounters with Zozo that has been like written down. The first one is back in 1951 with Roland Doe, who was a boy that supposedly got possessed by Zozo after using a Ouija board, and he was eventually exorcised after a violent process by priests.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 20 years later, in 1972, in Los Angeles, a mother named Doris Blyther used a Ouija board and found herself haunted by a dark entity which sought out her and her family and brought much harm. And then in 1977 to 79 is the Enfield poltergeist in Enfield, England, where a family got plagued by a malevolent, thank you, force. So like it went from Los Angeles. I couldn't find any information about where this Roland Doe guy came from, like where he was placed. But like it went from Los Angeles all the way to England. And then it jumps from 1979 to 2012 in Tombstone, Nevada. A small group of soldiers were off duty and decided to mess with the Ouija board just for fun. They made contact with an alleged spirit who told them he had died in Tombstone. And on the way back, one of the men got possessed and almost killed the others in a car crash before the demon left him and he regained consciousness. That's just freaky. And then the last possible encounter with Zozo was supposedly back in 2019, where this YouTuber named Kyle Godfrey attempted to contact Zozo at 3 a.m. on his Ouija board and made contact with an entity who said it was Zozo. However, Kyle took it further and asked the spirit if there was a specific phone number for Zozo. And the entity gave him a number, 417. And when the number was called, the lights went out in his room during the phone call and poltergeist activity followed. When Kyle ended the call, the lights came back on.
Don't call it. Just don't do it.
Just have it flash at the bottom of the screen.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I find it so much harder to believe in any of like these experiences with possible experiences with Zozo when it's more around this day and age. Like when it's back in the 70s and like farther back than that, I feel like it's easier to believe because they don't have media manipulation. You don't have like a bunch of people trying to watch you and you're trying to get content out. Because sadly, that's what the paranormal world has been lately, is people pushing and like just trying to get, I don't know, scary shit out when it's not always that scary. We're not about that. We're about the God honest truth here.
I think, yeah, I can guarantee
that. So Zozo is like one of the biggest demons that usually pops up in the board. It's not the only one. It is definitely not the only like sassy, dark, or evil being that pop up through boards. So we actually have 4 videos that we could take a look at. And I believe we're starting off with the first one that scares me the fucking most.
Yeah, this is the one that you showed me. What we're going to do is we went to the part a few seconds before to give you some context. And then it's going to go right into that activity, like the biggest part, the most watched, you could say. I can put the links in the description below so you can watch the whole thing if you want. Some of these are like 10 minutes long. I'm not putting a whole 10-minute video in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to narrow it down to the highlight clip, and then you can go along and watch it at your own pleasure.
Yeah.
So Let's do that. Let's get this set up. All right, we can all see this. I hope you can hear it. So, all right, clip number 1.
Oh my gosh. No.
I cannot hear it.
Okay.
Is your name Zozo?
Well, they'll be able to hear it.
Zozo the clown.
Oh wait, I can hear it. Crap.
So creepy. What the?
Monica, what are you doing?
Hey,
Monica,
what are you doing?
oh my God, Monica.
Monica,
Calm down.
Can't imagine being you listening to that alone in your apartment.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's not fun. It's yeah.
Now we're not saying any of this is real. However, that woman's laugh and her just falling back and like possibly having a seizure, terrifying. Her laugh is so scary.
Yeah, it's not fun. I don't like it. It's creepy.
I remember seeing
I'm
that
listening to that
years
in the
ago.
dark, mind you.
I remember seeing that years ago and I got bad chills and like goosebumps and I got goosebumps again. I
Mhm.
just
And you didn't
it
even hear
scares
it
me so
like
much.
through the Zoom call.
I could hear it just a little bit.
Oh, through the mic. Yeah, okay. But like,
Yeah.
ugh,
It's
No.
bad.
I don't like it. Creepy.
Do you think that could have been a real experience?
I don't know. I wasn't there, obviously.
What like could you
But-
imagine being there?
Things you want to do to debunk it is kind of take a look at it from all aspects. They made the joke. So let's list what they know. Let's list what we know from that clip. Because I didn't watch the whole thing. I only watched this highlighted part when you and I were together
Yep.
that one day. So this is the second time I'm viewing this. If you're using the Ouija board, what they did is when they got the answer Zozo, one, notice how it didn't do the rainbow effect.
Future Blaine here, coming in to say the Ouija board did in fact do the rainbow effect when they got the name Zozo. I did look and it did do it, so my apologies.
Like
What do you mean the
when
rainbow effect?
typically
Oh,
when you do when you're contacting Zozo,
Yeah.
the rainbow effect is it constantly is going back and forth between ZO, ZO, MA,
Yes,
MA.
Yes. Okay.
So, like, I noticed that, but, and I'm going to look at this from paranormal, and I'm going to look at this as a skeptic. As a paranormal incident, they made the joke. She said, Zozo the clown, and everybody laughed, and that's when it started. Is that girl started laughing in that weird laugh, and it
Yeah.
went on. Like they made fun of it.
And it got mad.
And it probably felt disrespected. And if you feel disrespected, you're gonna lash out.
Uh-huh.
You know? So that's me looking at it from a paranormal aspect of if it's real. If you're looking at it from a skeptic point now, does the girl have pre-existing conditions
Epilepsy.
of like epilepsy, seizures? Because like if you made the joke, you're like, haha, and then I don't know. I don't have this. I've never experienced one before, so I don't know. So I'm very ignorant when it comes to this, I guess you could say. I'm uninformed.
Or
But-
was this like just a gimmick to really get people
or was it just
scared?
fake? Like,
Yeah. If it was just all planned like that, they did a good job because
it's creepy as hell.
I don't
Like
like
you
it.
don't see any of their faces
No.
in that part of the clip. I don't know if
I
they do
don't-
at any other point.
Yeah, I don't
I'm not
remember
going
if
to
they
go look.
actually do.
I'm
You'll
gonna
be
remain
looking when
ignorant.
you put it together.
Just that part.
Okay.
That's the only part that's going in. But yeah, it's weird. It's creepy. I can't say it's paranormal, but I also can't say it's not. It's scary. That's the bottom line. Is I think that's scary as hell.
Very. I'm pretty sure that is the only clip out of the 4 that actually mentions Zozo.
I think
The
so.
rest, yeah. So if people are like, "Oh, that demon, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear about it," we're done with it now.
Yep.
Now
So
it's just some good old paranormal scary.
yeah, if you're listening to this on Amazon, Spotify, or on Apple Podcasts, you'll only hear the audio. I apologize. Links will be in the description part of the podcast itself. If you're well, actually Spotify, you can watch video, and that's how I uploaded. But on Apple and Amazon, I don't know. Apple doesn't do video. But if you're on YouTube, links will be in the description. Watch the whole thing, make your own assumptions when you come to this. Like, we're taking this at its base, and we're looking at it from the both sides, skeptic and paranormal. So
Yes. So you ready
Okay.
for the next one?
yeah, let's do that. Can't wait to hear this because I've never seen it. All right. So this one is called, the last one was called Scariest Ouija Board, Demon Zozo Possessed Girl. That was the name of the clip. Again, you'll see the links in the description. This one is labeled Guy Attacked by Demon While Using Ouija Board, and they made one. This is a homemade Ouija board. I should have said that for when we, like, for our audio, any audio listeners. So yeah, what they did is, right now I'm just looking at the screen. Guy has a homemade, they have a homemade Ouija board made out of cardboard and Sharpies, and I can't tell what they're using as a planchette. Looks like a piece
They
of,
are using like a clear cap for a perfume bottle.
yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah. So
Yeah.
all right. I have it like 10 seconds ahead of the event. Taylor gave me timestamps, so let's see what happens.
Ale?
Oh, there's already like an EVP in the background that they don't even notice.
Ale. I don't do this shit anymore.
Did you guys move it?
No.
Are you sure?
I didn't fucking move it.
I wasn't even touching it really.
Whoa.
Fuck.
That's a glass.
Oh, you're right.
What's that?
Shit. Here, take this.
Don't.
Taylor, I swear to God.
Jackson! Fuck!
Okay, come on now. That seemed far-fetched.
Very much.
You okay?
Having the audio muffled on my end makes it even just a little more creepy because I can't hear it.
What was that?
Having the audio muffled on my end, it makes it a little more creepy.
Okay.
It's like I don't hear it entirely.
I'm not gonna lie, they had me in the first half. It wasn't until he walked into the bathroom and started screaming that I was like, this seems fake now.
Yeah. So I genuinely think it's fake. You could use like a freaking piece of blonde hair, put it under that piece of glass or plastic cup.
Here's the thing.
Fishing wire will leave some kind of glare. With how close that camera was zoomed in on that.
But even hair would.
If it's a piece of blonde hair, I feel like it could be a little easier to hide.
It could be basic cuts. Like I don't know. I was only watching the video. This is the first time I'm viewing it. Because the camera can move so fast. I don't know. I guess I'll put in something. I don't know. But like if you're holding a camera, you can, if you do fast movements, it's easier for you to cut in those movements and fake stuff. Like I'm giving a big shout out to a YouTuber named Beardo. Beardo Gets Scared. He does awesome videos about some of the debunking on paranormal content. So big shout out to him. And as a film person myself, yes, you can. It's easy to fake that.
Okay.
Weirdly enough, they had me in the first half. I'll admit they had me in the first half. It wasn't
When
until he
it
went
moved
into the
on the
bathroom
top
and the
of the
door.
board.
Yeah, when he's like, I didn't do that. Like, I was like, here, hold this, cool. But as soon as he walked in that bathroom and shut the door, and that's when the screaming started. Also, we don't see what happened.
Was
Like,
there like a sound, like a bump or whatever that made him go to the bathroom?
I don't know. Like, I don't. But there was.
You're the one with the audio.
I don't want to go back and look. Here, give me one sec. Hold on. I'm going back.
Yeah.
I'll share the screen so everybody can see what I'm doing. All right, here we go.
Tips over on carpet.
So the glass comes down. Because that's a solid glass. He's ruffling the mic so much you can't fucking hear anything.
Okay.
He just walks out and goes to the bathroom. Yeah. He just walks out. He just walks out and goes into the bathroom.
Okay.
But you hear like so if you ever watch any of our videos, sometimes you'll hear like, because I don't use external mics on our cameras anymore. I find it just doesn't always sound great. And sometimes I forget to turn the mic on. It's just one less step for me, really, because when we did Jericho back in January, I forgot to turn the mic on at points. It's just a big hassle. I don't like using them if I don't have to. So you'll hear me, like, you'll hear the camera, like my fingertips like clacking against the side because the mic is like right there. Or you'll hear like this, or like, I don't
like
know if you can
scratching.
hear that. Yeah, it's like scratching at the mic. So that's what you're hearing. So that's what's happening when he hands the camera off. He's like, here, hold this. And then he goes into the bathroom. Again, had me in the first half on the first watch. Second half is where I'm like, it seems really fake.
Maybe the little shot glass literally scared the shit out of him. And then he was just having a massive blowout. He just had to get in there and let it out. Dispel the demon from inside his bowels.
But yeah, I don't know, but you don't even see how he was attacked. He just goes into the bathroom and like just screams, and then they're like, like the door is locked. I don't know if it's actually locked, if he's holding it, because it's a push-in. It's a push-in door. Yeah. So, and then they just like get him out and they go out the door, and that's how it's ending. I don't think this one's real. I decree fake.
He's just dispelling the ass demon.
I don't know, but who's to say?
On to the next.
Real until proven fake. I don't like that one. Meh. All right. Back to the share screens. There's probably a better way to do this, and I don't know it. So on to the next. All right. What's this one? This one is Ouija makes it. Oh, this is the one we watched for sure.
This is the one that made you freaked out a little bit. And I was like,
it was a little weird. This one's Ouija makes a chair move. This one's only 59 seconds, so I'm going to play it at its entirety, and I'm going to risk the copyright on it. Again, credit to the owners of this footage. I don't own anything. So here we go. Or at least I'll play it up to the part where the title says.
Let's ask if we can move the chair. Okay. Ashley, can you move the chair for us?
So they're asking to move the chair, and it slides to yes, but they're pick it up and move it back.
We'll be out in a minute. Okay. Okay, we better hurry. Our pancakes ready. Will you move it for us now before we go get our pancakes?
All right, so it's going back to yes for our
before
audio
we get
listeners.
Our pancakes.
Okay. She said she's gonna move it now, right? Yeah.
And there's just straight focus on this hair. on this chair.
Oh my gosh, did it just move? I don't know. I think it's moving. Yeah. Is it Kara? I don't know. Kara? Yeah.
And it slides out.
The way the video is like, just the way it's set up, I think that could be a real thing.
That one's okay. Again,
it seems more genuine than the other one.
Yeah, the camera is more low quality. So I don't know when that one was filmed. That one was uploaded, I guess. This channel's almost got
over a decade ago.
This video. Oh, okay. You know what? Let's go back to the first one quick. The Zozo laughing one. That one was uploaded.
Are we gonna talk about?
They were uploaded 14 years ago. I'm gonna list the views and when it was uploaded. 14 years ago. That one's got 6.9 million views. The second one, where I think he's faking it. Who's to say? Even the first comment's one of the funniest things I've ever read on the second one where we think it's fake. His name's What's Your Name? John Cena. It's the first comment. This one was uploaded 15 years ago with 4.6 million views. If this is real, this video was uploaded 17 years ago. It's only got 245,000. Like,
I feel like it almost comes down to like seeing what else did that person upload.
Yeah, but they've also only got like 82 subs. So I wonder what these two girls are doing or like where this footage came from. I'm not going to go look. I don't care.
I think maybe like it might be genuine.
I think that one might
like
be slightly more genuine. I didn't notice any visual editing. Again, that's why I'm looking back to how long ago, because you got to remember where editing program is now versus when it was 20 years ago. It's vastly different. We've upgraded so much since then, even in Premiere, DaVinci, Sony Vegas has updated so much. I don't think I could. Granted, again, I don't know. I don't see the floor when they're looking at the chairs. Someone could have, maybe there's a rug underneath it or something. I don't know. I can't see it. The reactions seem real. So I don't know.
They're just talking about pancakes. Like they just want to eat pancakes.
But who's Ashley? Ashley's who they're talking to at the beginning. Is that
that's
like
the spirit that they?
I guess. I understand. But like, who's Ashley to them?
I don't know. It's slumber party game, family activities.
Please, if you're watching this, if somehow any of these people who uploaded these videos over almost 20 years ago are listening to us, watching to us, and you're seeing your clip on this right now, first of all, please don't sue me. I don't have any money. Second of all, I'm giving you credit. I'm sorry. I need to know. Email me. I want to know, is this fake? Be genuine. Be genuine, please. I don't care if you faked it. I don't care if it's real. Like
we won't share.
I just really want to know. I want my own peace of mind. But that one seemed real enough to me. That one seemed like that could happen.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a newbie when it comes to seeing things move around.
No,
so I really think
you're not. Do you want to share what just happened to you?
So I have my baby's bassinet just sitting in my living room, and underneath there's like a little storage thing with her burp cloths. And when I was trying to break down a box, I watched them, like the burp towels move from one side of that storage basket to the other. And it just like, I was like, nope, I don't want to acknowledge it. I don't want to acknowledge it at all. And I know it wasn't my cats because they were in the kitchen. And then like yesterday, you dropped off the dead bell because we had to get it repaired. And both of my cats were with me in the bathroom because they're weird and they just got to watch me when I'm doing my business. And the dead bell was like straight, like completely flat on my TV stand. And I heard it fall to the ground. And when I came out here, it was on the ground. So I'm just like, yeah, this is my life. Things get pushed over. Things go missing. things get messed with, but this is what I set myself up for.
Yeah, I just get knocks. Like at the time of recording this morning, I went to go pick up a new drone that we're gonna start using, hopefully. And as soon as I shut my bedroom door, which I typically never do, but I didn't know if the people, like, I went with my parents, and as I shut my bedroom door because it's kind of messy, I heard knock, 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 and I couldn't tell if it was somebody outside, like my neighbor next door by accident, or if it was my apartment. And I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna leave now anyway, so I'll deal with that later.
I feel like I just went to like your level where just don't acknowledge it. Just
Don't acknowledge it because it might be bad. I'm not doing it.
I don't think my stuff is bad. I just think it's sass.
Probably.
Like kids just being sassy. So we have one more video.
We do.
I don't remember this video at all.
This one is called Real Scary Ouija Board Session, Violent Spirit Attacks. Man, it's like I labeled this video. All right, let's I got it open.
Screen.
This one was uploaded 9 years ago, and this one's only got 45,000.
Okay.
So just for people who know, again, we are going to skip to the part where the incident happens, and that is around the 8-minute mark, as I have it at 8:10. And then we'll give it a little, it has that context. And then again, they're going through. So they're just going to do a Ouija board session. This is all Ouija board. All Ouija board all the time. Oh, he's doing it by himself. It looks like he's moving it though.
It's a lady.
She looks like she was moving it.
Okay. I'm feeling a little groggy right now, so I think I'm going to close this section. Plus, I am genuinely somewhat creeped out, so entity, I would like to close this session.
It looks like she's spinning it.
No? Well, I'm very sorry. I'm going to have to close it right now. I don't feel comfortable. Goodbye, entity. Okay, I don't really necessarily. All right.
Oh, I remember this.
So as the title screen, I sensed a great deal of. Hold on, what did she say?
It said I sense a great deal of frustration.
Deal of frustration. So she forcefully closed the session. She like slammed the planchette down again for our audio listeners. And then there's going to be another title screen. After shooting the video, I noticed several scratch marks up on the wall. Well, up on is not one word in this sense, but okay, the wall.
There's the wall. Four scratch marks.
There's 4, 3. I sense such anger and frustration. Literally anybody could do that. All right, so this happened in her bedroom now. Oh, it's just a picture of her ceiling fan on the floor.
Where the ceiling fan was attached.
Yep. So I did a banishing ritual over the board. Oh, look at the necklace in the background.
Just swaying.
Can't tell if that's from like.
So.
Don't use a Ouija board in a private space, basically. That's its message.
Yeah. So I don't think like we can't like. Yeah, it was pretty simple like that, but like we can't judge because we don't know what like how genuine or like what she thought of like with that experience. Like how did it affect her that much? And
yeah, but like anybody can take it, you know, who's to say that was like, okay, again, I'm looking at this from like a skeptic point of view at this point.
We're also looking at this from just a minute and a half or 2 minutes of a video. We didn't watch the whole thing. We don't know how she began.
Fair.
Hi, me again. The floor is the same between the ceiling fan photos and some of the video clip that we show in the podcast. Again, my apologies. On with the podcast.
That was very anticlimactic, but we don't know like how the beginning went. We don't know what her story is. We also don't know like how much that affected her.
And we also don't. I don't know. I'm not with it.
What a sad way to just end the videos. Which one was your favorite?
I think my favorite was probably the laugh, the Zozo laugh.
The Zozo, yeah.
I think that was my favorite. Followed up close by the chair, obviously, and then the other two can fuck off.
I got like a mix of like what could be real and what couldn't be. Like no matter like I could say the Zozo one is my favorite. It just scares the crap out of me.
The laugh is what gets me.
And I want to know, where's that lady now? I just want to know what's her life like.
But I will say, I'm not saying this to like shit on anybody who's actually had a Ouija board session and has experienced something either negative, positive, whatever it may be. I'm not here and I'm not saying, oh, everything that we just watched is fake. I'm not saying that. I genuinely think that they can be used to do something because there's too many stories out there. Not all of them can be fabricated lie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But based off the 4 clips that we watched, at least 2 of those seem really fake to me.
Yeah.
So.
And not every Ouija board session is something dark and evil.
Correct.
I really want to put that out there too, because if every single time someone picked up a Ouija board and it was dark and evil, you would think like the world would just be straight up filled with demons, and you would never run into any kind of like
we'd have had the rapture years ago.
Yeah, I really think it's either you get some positive spirits and energy coming through, or it's all like mind manipulation in your own body, just messing around. And
I'll be honest,
and dark stuff isn't always around.
And I'll be honest, getting scratched by a ghost, granted that was on the wall, and I have my reservations on that last one. However, getting scratched doesn't necessarily mean it's negative. Just saying. Being scratched by a ghost, not always negative. That's kind of their way of
just trying to show that they're there.
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, it's very similar to like getting your shirt pulled or your hair pulled and this and that. It's just them trying to
very big
get up that
misconception.
energy.
It's a misconception that it's always negative. It isn't. It is not always negative.
However, if we want to talk about like scratches and all that stuff, what like that binder from that place in Indiana.
That's crazy. The Whispers Estate. That's nuts.
To have like they had a picture of a bite mark.
I
watch
that video, please.
I think that could be dark. That's scary. Like, what kind of ghost is like, man, they're not going to listen to me if I scratch them, so I'm just going to take a big old bite out of their arm. Ugh.
I don't know. I have my reservations, but if you have an experience with a Ouija board, you should send us your story. Let us know if we can share it. I want to know. I want to know if anybody out there who listens to us have used a Ouija board, either positive or negatively, and had an experience. I really want to know. It
would be really nice to see what other people experience.
And if you let us, we'll talk about it on the next one at the beginning as like a housekeeping thing.
And it would be coming, like, we would both read it. Like, Blaine hasn't messed with one before. I have messed with one a couple times. So, like, I don't know.
I really want to know.
Yeah.
This is your call to action. Send us if you've used one. I want to know. I really want to know.
Do you have anything else you want to add to this topic?
This topic, no.
Okay.
I wanted to do this at the beginning, but I completely forgot though. So if I may do housekeeping now, I would really like to. Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to give a big shout out to Jessie McGraw. She is one of our Patreon members, and we recently did a Patreon investigation at the Jericho convent. And once the video had come out, you and I discussed one part already, Taylor, and I left it up to interpretation.
Are we talking about the thing that I was very adamant about?
Yep. So really quick, Jesse watched the video while it was on Patreon before it came out to YouTube on Halloween, and she immediately messaged me on the 30th and goes, I don't know what that was, but here, let me pull up the comment so I know exactly what I'm talking about. Probably should have had this earlier. But here we go. I'll pull up the YouTube version so it's just a lot easier. All right. She goes, some things that I see / hear there was a voice at some point earlier on in the video that I never heard, so I'm gonna have to go back and check. But the big one was when her and her husband, our friend Michael, were in the school. They were in one of the rooms upstairs, and Michael had said, are there, like, something along the lines of, are there any ghosts here? How many ghosts are here? And Jesse had said, maybe they don't like being called that. In the video, you hear it twice. I had assumed Jesse said it twice. Taylor's first assumption was, from the last time we went to the school, like as a team together, the first time we had been to the school part of this convent, there was a time where Taylor was speaking to us, and in person, it sounds like it was pure unaltered English.
Yeah.
But in the clip that we have posted on our TikTok page right now, you'll have to keep scrolling. It's from two years ago now, a year ago now.
It was definitely from a video that we never made a video out of this.
Never made a video on it because all of my footage, a lot of my footage got corrupted at that point, and batteries kept dying. I was getting really upset. But in the clip that we did manage to salvage from the school our first time in 2022, there's a clip of you speaking, but the audio is reversed. It's distorted and reversed, but when you reverse it, it says something else.
It says, should we tell them we're here? Yeah. Are you sure? I'm really sure.
Yeah. But it's in Taylor's tone.
It blows my mind. And I just got chills again, just thinking about it. And yeah, so knowing that is the experience I've had there. And I was so insanely blown away and affected by that. And then seeing that Jess was affected by it too. It came up again. I was hounding Blaine. I was like, I truly believe this is it. This is it. But because I wasn't there, I don't know if I could truly say I
wasn't in the room either. I was
there. Yeah.
I was watching them all off of a CCTV camera. I was letting them do their own thing for the first hour or so, hour or so. And then some people switched. I went into the church by myself, and we tried to do as much as we could before we all did an investigation as a group. Another thing that she says is there's a point at around the 13-minute mark of that Jericho video that is now up. It says there's a voice. It almost sounds like me, but I'm fairly positive I didn't say anything there. I don't know what part that is. I'm gonna have to double check at time. And later on in the video, I do remember this. It's at the 45-minute mark, almost the 46-minute mark, where we were doing Estes in the basement of the school. and the music box was going off in the boiler room. I had it set up like so.
So
no
it
one
was like
in that
2
room.
rooms away.
Yeah, it was 2 rooms away. Nobody was in there. All of us were in this cafeteria of the school in the basement. And John had walked by, and I had assumed it was his shadow, but it doesn't match where his shadow actually is. A shadow pops up on screen right. And I didn't point it out, but Jesse did in our comments. So good eye, good ear. And it's good to know that she says she very adamantly claims she didn't say they don't like being called. They probably don't like being called that, referring to them as ghosts.
I sent you the clips, so you could probably try to. Like,
I can take them too. I got the files yet. It's not a big deal.
I know, but it's the one that I cleared up, like, or I cleaned up the fuzz.
From our first time, right? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh.
No. So where I replayed it again with Jess's voice, but I just cleared up the audio, so it's more like refined. Like you just hear Michael and Jess without much of that echo, because it's a big empty school.
Right.
I know there's a lot of ghosts in here, possibly. Why don't you say hi to
I
them?
not like being called that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of ghosts in here, possibly. Why don't you say hi to them?
not like being called that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But yeah, you know what? Sound off in our comments below. Sound off in a review on your podcast catcher of choice. Let us know what you think about Ouija boards. Let us know what you think about ghosts in general. I don't care. Let us know what you think. All right, like that's gonna be your next call to action. Let us know what you think.
Give us some ideas of what you would want to hear us to talk about.
Yeah, let us know if there's anything that I'm still looking for people. If people want to tell me the ghost stories, I would love to have another guest in the show. It's been a while since I've had somebody come on, so that would be cool. If you want to share your story, but you don't want to be on camera and you don't mind us telling your story out loud, we don't have to say your name. We can censor your name. Give us a pseudonym and we'll be good to go.
Yep.
It'd be cool. I just don't like going to Reddit. I don't want to go to Reddit. I don't want to resort to that.
You want to avoid it as long as you can.
F&A.
That makes sense.
I will talk about literally anything else before I go to Reddit. And that's not to shade Reddit. I just don't want to do it personally. Because it'll be just like what we did here. Is it real? Is it not real? I don't know. I'm not there.
Yeah, I think the is it real or is it fake kind of thing is okay to have once in a while, like for episodes.
For sure.
But yeah, I don't really have anything to add to the Ouija board discussion. I hope this was a fun topic for people to actually listen to.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that I had planned for a while, but I just put on the back burner.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching or listening to the Ghost in Us podcast on your podcast catcher choice. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to like, comment again, and subscribe. And if you want to join our Patreon and get early access to all of our content, down below, patreon.com/ghostinus. For $1, you get early access to everything. I did make a few things free to all members so they can kind of see what we do if you're experiencing us there first before you're seeing us somewhere else, which I think is a little weird, but to each their own. Just in case. But yeah, patreon.com/ghostinus for $1, or feel free to donate more. That's all right too. I'll take whatever you give. We just appreciate you watching and listening to us. But yeah, follow us on all these socials listed down below, basically at Ghost in Us everywhere. And yeah, we will see you guys next time.